Good afternoon. How are you all? I found some time to spend because I am meeting again at noon, but here is 11:15. So I thought I will come and chat with my friends on anything. uh, I was working on the mind thing and a very advanced meditation process called Manu Nasha, right? Normally, what we do is we kind of want to really quiet ourselves, or maybe we want to, uh, you know, be quiet a bit after all this information going on and the thoughts going on in the mind. People want to relief from that, right? So people do that. That is the process of where thought projects and then you damp it down. It's like a vacuum, right? But then it will go on doing that all the time. That seemed to be inefficient to me. And then I ended up in this other meditation process is called dissolution of mind. Not that you kind of dissolute completely, but you kind of um, more focused and more understand of the mind to be quiet by itself, and you kind of spiritualize it such a way that you kind of how it is spiritualizing is somebody said if you are really focusing on the world outside, like if somebody said something, oh, he said something, then that they call materialistic. But if you are focused on your mind, its reactions, its movements, and all that, then you say, what is happening with my mind? Why did I react such a way to him? Then you become more a spiritual quest of finding about yourself and also really fine tuning the mind such a way, not programming it, but more like understanding it and then quieting the reactions and all that. So you kind of live in that moment, but at the same time, you don't have to. I got somebody who want to chat with us. Okay, I think it's Julie probably. Yeah. Hi, Julie.
Lovely Dr. Rao, my friend. How are you?
I am great, Julie. How are you?
I'm all right. I was enjoying what you were saying,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's something that I enjoy doing.
yeah.
Is it's almost like interacting with everything,
Yes.
and then looking inside yourself to discover
I know you are in
what
the
those
present
feelings
all the time.
are, and discover how you feel about a thing. And
Yeah,
then you can have a look at
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. That's great because
You
that
know,
itself is blessing, right? You feel the blessing that's all quiet, and at the same time, you are in touch with everything that's going on.
yeah, it's kind of nice. It's even the not so pleasant things from the exterior world that stir my insides.
Yeah, yeah,
So if I'm looking at somebody and they're wearing a beautiful dress
yeah.
and they're looking wonderful, there's two reactions that I can have.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is to say, "My golly, they look very beautiful. They're very shining," and the other one is, "Oh, they look good. Hmm. I
Yeah.
wish I was them."
Yeah. You are right because that is the movement of thought. That is the one, either it could be good or the bad, or pleasant or unpleasant. Both of
Yeah.
them, they have the capacity to secrete hormones. It could be happy hormones or it could be stress hormones.
Yes.
Actually, when you develop this stillness of thought because you're in touch with what is in front of you, that lack of movement or stillness of thought is very healthy, Julie.
Yeah, it's nice. I sit in that sometimes
Yeah,
quite happily
yeah,
and
yeah,
enjoy all of the things, all of the inspirations
yeah,
of those feelings from
exactly.
outside. I do enjoy it very much. I play
First
with it
I was in
sometimes.
Chicago, Julie, at the time in the 80s, and I learned about
Yeah.
this stillness of thing. When it happened to me, I was silent, even though I'm doing so much work in the hospital all through the day. I,
Yeah.
I felt
I
the
get
energy.
that.
Yeah, I felt the energy and felt that, whoa, whoa, this is really great. All I'm doing is not allowing my thought go cyclically, go all over.
Mm. You get kind of a clarity then as well, and you
Yeah,
get,
yeah,
you kind of function better in
yes.
that.
That's a
You
great
don't
word.
immediately respond. You get to
Yeah.
function a lot clearer because you're not,
Clarity
yeah,
itself,
affected.
clarity itself is a blessing.
Yes, yes, it is. Dr. Rao,
Yeah.
I'm so glad to catch up with you and have a conversation
Yeah,
again. It's
nice
been
talking to
lovely.
you, Julie. Yeah, she's also a great person to be advocating for being in the present. I know Julie from the beginning. She was always, you know, being in the nature, touching the nature in its finest moment, and she's enjoying the benefits of that quietness, stillness. See, normally what we do usually is we allow our mind to chatter, and it may be okay in the beginning, but then as you become more into advanced age and you retire, these unconscious continuous thoughts or you allow to accumulate into your brain circuits, they kind of form a hardwired pathways that are reacting on their own. A little bit of memory, a little bit of any indication for that will start that movement. It will go on by itself, and that is where, if you don't cultivate, like Julie and me, we are always trying to be in the awareness, in the moment. That means you dump everything and you don't want to hang on to anything or you don't want to project into anything, but rather be with what's going on at that moment. And that itself is a very good practice. It's not clinging to things, let them go. You don't have to use like a forgiving, forget, and all that, but let them go. Don't cling on to things. Like how you can do that is, I do my patients like that. Okay. Each patient comes with so much of history, so much of interviewing, so much happens, right? And then when I go to him, if I carry all that happened with the previous patient to him, then I'm not really listening to him. I'm not paying attention to this patient, right? So all I do is, am I here with the patient? Am I really listening to him, what he's saying? Am I really understanding him? Does he feel like I'm listening to him? That's all I'm concerned about. So what I do is, whatever decisions I made and all of that are delegated to the staff of nursing or other people, or maybe consultation. They can come later, but I leave that there and I say, what's happening with this patient now? How can I really understand what he's going through? How can I provide relief if I could? I may have to order, I may do so many things. That's fine. So being with what is happening with us in front of us, that's the key. That means you are not bringing all your concepts, all your thoughts, all your conditioning, everything to influence this movement, right? Technically, maybe because I may have a technical thing that I have to do, auscultate the patient lung and figure out what's going on with them. That's fine. But then allowing my thought go away from the movement all over, that is where that means I have an opinion about this patient, I have a prejudice about this color, or that kind of thing. We don't want to have that. So quietening the mind every minute with deep breathing helps a lot. And also being in touch with this moment, with what is happening in front of me, that's the attention to every action, I call it. So it starts with in the morning having a practice of being in the present, and then I nurture that, and then I will go and attend to all the duties I have to do as whatever I do. And then in the evening I revisit the whole day in a cinema, like from reverse direction, and then dump everything that I'm going to accumulate. So try this, and then if you try this on in an age like this, a lot of information that we are accumulating will be washed off. That's unnecessary. That kind of ages us, that kind of drops our energy, that kind of causes a lot of problems. So this is the process I have. Wake up in awareness, Don't allow all the devices, everything get into you. Then practice being awareness in whatever you do. You can be walking, you can be doing anything, right? And then don't allow yourself to be watching TV while you're walking or listening to some things and all that. Okay, but pay attention to what is your surroundings. Right? And then when you go to work at where whatever you work, break that into small steps and pay attention to every step. And then in the evening, visit back whatever have happening in your mind and wash it out, vacate it. That's why I call it taking a vacation by emptying the mind. It's very difficult in the beginning, but as you stick to the process, as you perform better and then you feel better. That's the main thing. When you have a mind that's not moving all over, that's a good thing for you. Okay, Julie is coming back. So it's an important thing to nurture that. Okay, in this modern age of information. Hi, Julie.
Hello. I was just going to just pop in a helpful hint,
Yeah,
really, with thoughts.
sure.
Because thoughts pop in when you least expect them. And like you said,
Yeah,
they are an inner dialogue, they are a conversation.
yes,
And the conversation is linked to your physical movement.
yeah.
So if you wanted to experience a moment where you didn't have the chatter in your mind going on and on and on, because as you do it, you are making these micro motor movements in your throat and neck. So something I discovered that I could do was I could just let my jaw drop down.
Yeah,
I just let it drop open, just naturally, not like holding it open or anything, and relaxing all the muscles around the jaw, and then relaxing the muscles in the tongue and the throat.
yeah.
And suddenly you get this space there.
It's a subtle. You are right. You can notice that. Actually, there is a thing about this energy because the energy comes through our voice too, right? And then our thinking initiates that movements in the voice. And if you kind of don't want to talk about it, then it will go to the throat and move. That's what you're talking about. So to manage the energy better, you got to be aware of that movement.
Yeah.
And then you know where it is coming from, the thoughts of the upstairs. They call this manasa vacha karmana. Manasa means your thoughts, vacha means your speech, and karmana means your actions.
Yeah. When the example of it is,
Yeah,
when we tend to talk out this introvert speech, this private conversation.
yeah.
So when you're watching a kid playing, you'll hear them say, "I'm going to pick the handle up now and pour the teapot, and the tea's coming out. Oh, I'm going to have a sip of this tea. Oh, that's delicious." And all of those thoughts are actual words.
Yeah, yeah.
And later on, as we grow older, we learn to keep the mouth shut.
Yeah.
But the conversation is still going on in the head. And that's why when you relax all of those muscles, just for a moment, maybe pay more attention to what you see and what you hear. So looking at your eyes, feeling your ears, dropping that jaw. Yeah. That's how you get into that moment.
Very practical, Julie. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Because what is happening in your mind can result in movements which are very subtle, but you can still be aware of them, like Julie was pointing out. And the movement in the throat, the movement in the on your forehead, so many things that we move because of our activity in the mind. See, one of the things yoga talks about is what they call samskaras. That means you are allowing these thoughts to pop up, right, from the memory or from whatever. And then they kind of allow to persist unconsciously. They become subconscious reality. They go in and land there and stay there. The more you repeat the same thought, the more it becomes crystallized. That's why it doesn't take much to bring it back. You don't know that past that happened and it's buried, it is there, it's coming back to you. Okay, so it's like this: you have a lake, and you don't see any movement on the top of the lake. It's quite calm, but then suddenly there is a pool of rocks in the bottom that you don't see. A fish comes and knocks up one of the stones. Then there is a movement among the stones, and that movement comes up and affects the surface of the lake. Like that, what Julie was describing is absolutely true. Your thoughts come up, and then they're coming up. You don't know. You may not have to have any stimuli, but they may come from your memory or from your samskaras. That is buried thoughts in your repetition and all that. Actually, you learn like that too. It's a neuroplasticity helps us to form our own brain and all that. But if you are aware that these are not good thoughts, this is negative, you don't want to allow that to go and land in yourself, and then it becomes crystallized or hardwired thoughts. Now what we do is you kind of reframe the hardwired thoughts. Okay, cognitive reframing they call it. In Sanskrit they call pratipaksha bhavana. There's a yogic technique. What it is first quieten your mind, then slow it, and slow it to that extent where you can follow one thought, and then you can see the thought is negative or positive. If it is a negative thought, you are able to slow it down, you are able to work with one thought, and then you would allow it to bury into your subconscious, right? Then you will have a stillness of mind, which is very, very helpful. That's what I was telling earlier too. I kind of few minutes of that in the morning, in the evening, and not allowing these things to accumulate to the day does wonders to me. You kind of release a lot of energy. That's why people may be tired of me saying I'm in the present moment all the time. But that can be done. That's my point. No, we don't have to have major skills or anything like that. You should consistently understand how the thought works, how the thought can be detrimental to us. So my mantra is be in awareness where you're alert and awake, but you don't have the movement of thought. And then when you have to do something with a thought, use it. Do with a conscious thought deliberately. And then consciously end it. Don't cling on to the thought, right? Or if you should cling on to it, at least before you go to sleep, review back, identify, and get rid of them. Or if it is really trivial, dump them right there. If it is really important, write them down on a device or a paper, and then forget for the night. Forget for the night. Don't cling on, pay attention, and forget for the night. So this formula, if you can use it, I'm sure you will take a plunge into being in the present moment awareness, and from there you will be able to understand yourself better, understand how you're thinking, how it can be a problem for you, how it can be good thing for you. You can do all that. Okay. Anybody else wants to come up? I have a meeting at noon. Right now it is 11:35, so I can stay here for 10 more minutes. If you want to ask me any question or you want to tell me, like Trudy told her experience, you can come up and talk to me about it. I know I don't come on regular time last of time because I'm kind of occupied, and then my time is taken away by requirements of other people. They want a service, then that is scheduled. Today morning I had a meeting from 9 to 9:45. Then I came and attended a couple of lectures here, and Dr. Andreas and a couple of people, right? And then I came here because I'm waiting for the meeting to start at 12. It will go up to 2 o'clock, I think. So I talked to Julie. Cecilia is there. Don, Ashley, Kristen, Jess, Tammy, Dave, V, Michael, Wandering Fool, Vanel, Hogan, Brittany, Stephen. So I kind of try to relate how keeping the mind quiet down when it's not needed, and also stilling the thought when it's not needed, and going into the silence of the mind had been a blessing, had been an energy reviving thing, and also really keeps me healthy because I don't secrete unnecessary stress hormones because I don't react with people. Somebody is coming.
And then you're acting as if it's night, and then you're not eating during that period. I will say the app doesn't include the piece as much as I would like it to around the meal timing piece, but
Okay, I don't know what happened. Suddenly I got there now. Okay, Jill is coming back. Julie, are you there? Uh-oh. It says guest has left the talk. I am allowing her to come. Guest is joining in. 3, 2, 1. Why she is not appearing? I don't know what happened. I'm allowing Julie, but I don't know what is happening. Why she's kind of being kicked out. Ah, there you are. There you are.
Have you got me? Have you got me?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Good. Because the app is having a bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
So, first off, I was listening to somebody else's talk.
Yeah.
And then I tried to join you, and it just said rejected.
Yeah, 3 times.
Rejected. Oh, Fluffy.
I was accepting, but it is kind of hanging about on its own, So.
Yeah. Something I wanted to say about that silencing, that mindfulness of just dropping all those thoughts, is what I feel from my kind of when I practice it, is I feel more alive because of it. I feel more in a space, in this 3D space that I'm in. I feel part of it all. And that's so lovely. So it makes things, for me, just my perception, I suppose, feel really 3D solid.
Yeah.
So when I'm outside and I'm with the plants, I'm really with the plants. When I'm sitting in the kitchen, I feel the seat. I see the side, the cups, the keys on the table. Everything is really like almost what they would call glorious technicolor. When I'm free in the mind. Yes.
Yeah. You are so aware. All those are lighting up for you. You see,
and it's lovely.
Yeah,
there are so good.
Yeah, there are no interfering thoughts for you. You are aware. That's the thing we want to grasp. I want to be with this completely. That's what I call attention to every action. So your attention is so
it really is.
Yeah, your attention is so good that you are with it completely.
Yeah. It almost affirms my existence, Dr. Rao. That's what it does for me.
No, that's a big deal, Judy, because when you kind of stop these, they call them vrittis, that is the modulation of thought, then your real nature is revealed. Your real nature is that conscious being that we all have, and you are going to the far corner, and then that is coming up. That's like a self-luminous thing.
Love,
yeah.
Yes, it's blissful, one
Blissful.
would say.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
blessed blissfulness. That's why I always tell people how, when they ask me how you are, I'm blissful.
I'm so glad you're here, Dr. Rao. Thank you.
So that's really true. What Julie was reporting as being blissful and really blessed that way is true, because we don't have to have constant chatter. What we want to have is a focused, um, balanced approach to anything, and also using our thought, really being in charge of that rather than being driven by that. See, lots of people feel thoughts are in control, thoughts come on their own and all that, because we allowed the process to be there for us for years and years and years. But then once you understand, okay, I can focus on something and work. After that, I don't want to carry that work home or to the next hour. I can just pay a complete attention, do this, and finish it. And then you can have the learned skill, but you don't have to have the opinion or whatever concept that you have around it, or your egoic nature. They don't have to be there. That is where the energy goes up. So quieten the mind, be attentive, and then wash them off at the end of the day, and you will see that gets deeper and deeper by itself. And then you are teaching how to be actively thinking and actively producing creative. And then when you are working using that learned knowledge, and that technicality also improves better, because you are using the same technique, repeating the task all the time, and they become hand mind coordination, we call it, right? That is better. Even the players and everybody will better, but then they are more in the present, attentive. And then at the end of the day, still the mind, from quietening to stillness, and then enjoy the stillness into the sleep. Okay, don't carry so many thoughts. Finish them off, or write them down and put them there and forget it for the night. And that is what I do. I kind of empty my mind every day, and I call it vacationing the mind. Taking a vacation is like emptying the chatter. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, Julie, for coming up and adding that valuable experiences of yours. And hopefully that will help other people too. So I will be taking leave now. And another 15 minutes, I have this big meeting. I need to be there. Okay. So meanwhile, I have some fruit to eat, and I will be. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you again in an hour. Right. Thank you.